I bet.
So I'm Ryan Glover. I'm here with Rockwell. Part one, we were talking about like Josh Giddy when we ended. So this is part two. My thoughts about Josh Giddy is I believe that there is like, some sort of like privilege, like in the reason that he's still playing. I think like, that if he was a black player, like, he certainly would be suspended. I think of like, what was the player and stuff, everything who like kept showing
Let me
guns?
ask you. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. That's so crazy. So why is John Morant still not playing? It's like 23 games. John Morant cannot play. Josh Giddy allegedly has sex with a minor, and why is he like nobody's saying shit about this, and everybody had takes. Do you not understand? Do people out there do not understand what's going on? And I don't even want to say because I'm
Yeah,
afraid, but
I think like,
y'all got to do the math. What's going on? You know what
I
I'm
mean, I
saying?
think like,
So,
it goes, that's more like, about like an issue with the NBA commissioner. Like, I think like,
well,
a lot of
okay. That's what. Let me not. Oh, all right. Ethnicity or what ethnicity is the commissioner? Just Google it real quick while we on the Zoom. What does he identify as?
time.
And no, but also let me stop. Why did Kyrie Irving have to apologize and do all these fucking things to get back in? Like, let me just. I don't want to say nothing bad about anybody. I want to
Uh,
let
so
your
so
audience.
uh the NBA commissioner's name is Adam Silver, and he was born into a Jewish American family. And like
You said it. I didn't say it.
I don't want to like, get
All right,
I understand
but
it's a difficult time for Jewish people in this country,
you
and I have a lot of
cool.
sensitivity to that. Like I think like, like
No,
especially like
I definitely do, bro. My best friend is Jewish. Alex Voldarski. Shout out to Alex Voldarski. He's gonna save me from this. But my best friends are Jewish, and that's not what I was insinuating.
yeah.
But y'all do the math.
Man, I just think like
You guys see a pattern going on, bro. There's a
I,
fucking pattern going on here.
have you seen that Colin Kaepernick Netflix series where he depicts the NFL like draft as like a slave auction? You
All
know,
right, my shit went viral like as fuck on that shit, and I had a lot of black people getting mad at me about that, and I'm like, bruh, I grew up in this. I'm like, yo, if anything, and I'm like a lot of black people got mad at me about that shit, but I'm saying, yo, Colin Kaepernick, we could disagree, we can agree to disagree on this. Colin Kaepernick is a whole different situation. He is race baiting, I believe he's race baiting because I agree with the kneeling. I said that in the video too. Y'all can check the video on Rockwell. Um, but I don't agree with him calling his parents fucking racist. Who's gonna adopt a black kid if they're racist? And also,
well,
other than the
like
bias I got, I think his parents
Well, like I
did
think like
something
the
about
thing
it.
is like, not necessarily being cognizant of the racial injustices that like black men face. But like I would say, like
Fair.
if you grow up in a black family, I mean, I think like, is more so like accepted as reality. But like, the fact of like, imagine like, being where your parents get like this privilege of being white, but you're black, you still experience the microaggressions and the racism, and you're like, but you guys don't say anything like, about like, what's going on, like this is wrong, or like,
That's fair. That's fair.
and like I kind of like saw like, in the way like, the documentary, I mean the series or whatever, like, depicted it was just like, it'd be like little like microaggressions, like he'll be at a hotel, like, is this man bothering you? And like, where he gets pulled over in the car one time, and like
Yeah.
is like, racial profiling is a real thing and stuff, specifically for
So I'm gonna give you a clip right now, right? I'm gonna give you a real good clip. Um, so this is what I learned in society. Can you hear me right now? Because I
Yeah,
can't
I
hear
hear you.
you.
I hear you.
Okay, okay. So when I get okay, so say I cut my hair short, right? Say I wasn't wearing a backwards hat as an Indian in America, right?
Okay.
I get treated way differently. So I sometimes I purposely take off my hat when I'm driving because I don't want nobody to pull me over. And so and I'm saying it's wrong. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking wrong. So because I got all my cousins who have like short hair who work for like a science company and shit. They don't get pulled over at all, and I'm not even black. So there's racism is real, and I said that in the video. Racism is 100% real, right? a
Yeah.
100% real. And what I'm saying is like I understand because people act like, oh, Indians don't go through it. Bro, after 9/11, bro, everybody think I'm trying to blow up every place I go into. They think I'm trying to. So with Colin Kaepernick, the only problem I have is say these people are your slave owners. Stop trying to join back with them. You can do some other shit. That's my only problem because Colin Kaepernick is I think he made a great point. I think I said I fuck with the kneeling. I do fuck with the kneeling, but don't. Why are you trying? Like if I work for McDonald's, right, and
Mhm.
I'm suing McDonald's, why would I try to join back with McDonald's? That's my whole point. I don't care. I believe in what he's saying. It's I don't. I just don't fuck with him trying to join back with the NFL. I just don't fuck with that because you already said you called him out for all this shit, which I think a lot of it is true. Um, don't try to join with your oppressors.
No, that 100%. Like, I mean, like, I don't think like that's a point you can argue. Like, but he still did it. Like, I think like that's part of his white privilege. Like he wanted to wanted
No,
support.
you're right, and I get a lot of hate on like everybody's like, oh, you don't understand. Like, oh, if you're, I'm like, no, I do understand. I understand this wholeheartedly, and it's like, bro, you saying this shit that they did to you, and they're definitely boycotting Colin Kaepernick. Let's be real,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
boycotting
100%.
Colin
Yeah,
Kaepernick. But why?
there's so many
But you
teams that need a good quarterback that I think like over like I mean a lot of time has passed now because it's been like what like 6 years since he was in the NFL.
7 years,
Yeah,
2016. Yeah,
yeah. So like I mean like I've seen like teams like where even now like where he's probably better than their quarterback, and like this
yeah.
so
So why try to
like
join that company again? Like it's a conflict of interest. Like why are you doing that? Like and how does this benefit the whole? That's what made me really think like all right because and also I made the whole video and he's saying like he had them come to his practice facility and he switched up the whole practice. Why are you trying to join the company that you say are your oppressors? I just don't under. I will never join if I'm suing. And he won the lawsuit. You know that, right? He won the
yeah,
lawsuit.
right.
Yeah. So if you want to, you think these people are gonna hire you again? And like, why do that? Like, just move on, bro. Just go on to your next path in life. I get frustrated. I get very frustrated when he keeps trying to join the NFL. It's really frustrating. That's all I can
We
say.
talked about Colin Kaepernick, but like and we kind of touched on like just the Jewish situation in America because like uh like being honest, like Jews pretty much control like a lot of
You
America,
said
like
it. I didn't say
particularly
it.
in,
You're
I mean
saying
like
it, but I'm not.
these are just factual information, and I'm not saying like that's like a bad thing,
Yeah.
but it is factual.
Me neither. Me neither. Me neither. And not to cut you off. And I was just talking to my cousin about this because we got a lot of Jewish people in our family. I'm an Indian family, and a lot of our female members married into Jewish families. I'm like, it's not a bad thing. I'm like, bro, everybody got to get more organized like them. They're very
Yeah,
organized, bro. Yeah. So like, I want Indians to fucking like. One day, I would love for the Indians to like be as organized as the Jewish community and it's something we can learn from. But the fact that, but I don't. This is something I will stand on. I don't like that they like disavow or they're denying that they don't run shit, bro. If Indian people run shit, I'm gonna say, yo, we run the shit. So the fact that they like sometimes they deny it, maybe we got to cut this out.
oh
but
no, like
like yeah,
well, like I think like the idea, like there's a sinister plot, behind that, and I don't believe in that. Like
all right, okay. But
I
okay,
mean, like, but you can't like deny like factual information. I think like when it goes like that they're somehow trying to take advantage of like but like a lot of like companies in
so
America.
everybody, okay.
But
Continue,
like
my bad.
and just because you're Jewish though, that doesn't mean you necessarily identify as Jewish or that you are very much involved like with the Jewish religion. Like I think like Thomas,
It's not about religion.
right, like
It's about community. Hmm.
Thomas Friedman wrote a really great book from Beirut to Jerusalem, like where he talks about like he didn't he considered like Israel someplace where he sent his clothes, his old clothes to, you know, when he was younger and stuff, everything, and like until he actually like visit Israel, you know. But I think like, you know, like the conspiracy type stuff, like, you know, like Kyrie Irving and like the Hebrew Israelites, I think like a lot of that is just ridiculous. I laugh at those people, the Hebrew Israelites, and
What part of that is ridiculous? I'm curious.
well, I think like, you know, they they have a little bit of revisionist history. Some of the mix truth with a lie. That's the problem. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Say what you want to say. Just say what you want to say. Tell your
no,
audience what you're
it's
going to
so
say.
like, you know, I remember, so I was on Hollywood Boulevard this summer. I walked past the Hebrew Israelites and they had like statues of Jesus. I actually got this on my YouTube video, and they're just on my channel, and they're just like stomping the statues of Jesus. And like, I get it, that's not Jesus. You know what I mean? And stuff, because like, you know, the person and stuff, everything in the paintings that the statues are based off of is Caesar Borgia, who's who's like, you
Who's
know,
Caesar
that's
Borgia? Who's that?
um Caesar Borgia. Let's
And before while you're googling that, who do you think Jesus looked like? Does it look like Jason Momoa or does it look like fucking me?
he
I'm
so
being real. Jesus
Caesar,
looks like me,
right.
Bobby.
He
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure. He definitely
Yeah,
looked more like you than Caesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia, I guess he was the illegitimate son of Pope Alexander the Sixth. And the reason and stuff, everything, like, you know, the paintings of Jesus, I guess he was like kind of like a model. Because, like, you know, he was considered good looking in that time. So Leonardo da Vinci was like, hey, we're gonna use you for the portrait of
yeah.
Jesus. And
Jesus
this
is more dark skinned and they want to paint him anyways. We could talk about that on the whole, but Jesus is way more dark skinned. They want to paint him as a whole another, but everybody knows Jesus look like
But
me.
my
So
point
that's
is,
all.
like, you know what I mean, and stuff, everything, like, you know, them stashing them, you know, there's a lot of deception and like in just religion. I think like, you know, dishonesty, like along through the years where they don't like necessarily tell the truth. And like the Hebrew Israelites, though they're no better, or like, you know, the Nation of Islam,
Mm-hmm.
or it's like a lot of like religious groups where it's like they'll take a kernel of
All right.
truth and then
Yeah.
kind of misrepresent things intentionally or unintentionally, you know.
So let's get back to Kyrie Irving. And I agree with everything you just said. Like that was poignant. What do you think about the Kyrie Irving situation? And I'm
I,
not here to interview you. I know this is
I
not
don't
your
think
platform. I'm
anything.
just here.
Well, like, you know what I mean. So here's the thing: if people are offended, and like Jews, like, you know, obviously were offended at Kyrie Irving, like, you know, some of the things that he was saying, but he only shared a documentary. He didn't
That's
create.
all he did. So it's not some of the things he was sharing. Let's clarify that.
Yeah,
Some of the, he didn't say nothing. All he did was share a link. You know.
yeah.
But continue.
So I mean,
He
like,
just shared a link. My bad.
yeah, like,
I got a lot to say about this. I wish I could say way more, but continue. My bad.
I mean, like, you know, I don't see how you could say that that's being anti-Semitic, and then like, you know, there's certainly an argument, like, you know, I've heard, like, you know, how can they say he's anti-Semitic when he is a Semitic person?
See, I don't know about. See, I'm not a historian, so I don't know if black people are Jewish. I know that's a big argument. All I think is like, bro, if you share a link, you're not anti-Semitic. It seems like every time you say something that's
Well, so what
culturally,
Semitic means,
yeah.
the
Thank you.
definition.
No, but thank you for cutting me off because
Hold
I'm
on,
about
this
to
is
get
the
canceled.
definition of Semitic. This is the definition of Semitic,
Yeah,
relating to
yeah.
or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. So, because he's Afro-Asiatic, he is Semitic. Like, you know what I mean? And stuff, like, according to the definition of the dictionary, he's a Semitic person.
Asiatic also means, and I did a lot of research on this
Yeah,
too, because my ancestors grew up in Africa too. Like, and my family's from India, right? I'm
yeah.
Indian, full 100% Indian. But I feel like there's a connection, and we're going off topic here, but I just want to make this shit
It's cool.
clear for your audience. Yeah, Africans and Indians are ancestrally related in a deeper. Bro, we have a deep connection. That's why everybody, oh, Indians want to act black. No, I'm not saying we are black, but I was like, yo, we got a connection, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Continue back to you because I'm about to get canceled on all this. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I understand, that argument. Even if you go on the ADL website, I think they acknowledge that. Like I've been, but some people and stuff say
The ADL be let me stop myself because I'm afraid. I want to say
so
more,
like
but
the
yeah, continue.
ADL has like a racist history. I think that is a lot of people don't believe anything like that the ADL says at all, especially members of the Nation of Islam. I've interviewed some members of the Nation of Islam, and I've reached out. A lot of people in hip hop are Muslims. They're involved either with the Nation or maybe they could be like Sunni, Shiite. There's a lot of different variations of Islam, but they're
You
not
want? I'm gonna give you some.
they're not
I'm gonna give
favorable.
you some game.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
Real quick. So I'm Indian, and in our country, it's half Muslim, half Hindu. I grew up Hindu, right? So we're taught like the country. I'm not from India. I wasn't born. I was born in America, but the country is anti-Muslim. But let me tell you something, right? What's going on in this situation with what what we're talking about? It's colonized. So if somebody, it's almost like we talk about this on Thanksgiving. So you colonize somebody, and then people react. You can't be afraid of how the reaction is. You can't call out the react. It's almost gaslighting, and I know
Yeah,
that's like a very minimizing terms, but um, I just wish that they would have peace. I feel for both sides, so don't clip this and make me. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the internet. Don't, but people are wrong. Like and people don't want to admit that they're wrong. And in the initial situation, it's like, yo, if you bomb my house, bro, I'm gonna react. Like, don't come into my crib and try to take over. So, is that too much already? Got
and
canceled from
what do
Hollywood.
you
So,
think about? I mean, I just think there's a lot of it deflects off like a lot of the important issues. Like one of the most important issues I think going on right now is like our technology, as far as our cell phones and our computers, like we don't really take into consideration that is coming at the hands of child labor. There's 35,000 children in Congo mines, man. That's where they get cobalt. That's the material that we use in like our devices. How do you feel being American, that we have any responsibility, for, because like some people and stuff, everything, every time the newest iPhone comes out, but this is created at the hands of child labor. Some little African child, that
I
looks.
got, yeah, I got to think about how I'm gonna word this. Let me ask you this, and I'm just, and this is not like a sarcastic question. Do the do the child laborers do they get paid at all or not?
Um, I think that probably varies on certain situations. I'm sure there's some situations where they're just slaves and they don't get paid, and I'm sure there's some where they get paid like $1 a day or something for their family or a couple dollars a day. I think
Okay, and
it.
I'm with you. If that's the situation, then it's wrong, right? It's definitely wrong. But I want to see proof. Like, why aren't we seeing all? Like, I feel like the whole universe is giving so many accusations and allegations, but I don't ever see no proof. Like, I've seen it on Joe Rogan's podcast too. I'm like, oh, the cobalt, right? They're talking about the cobalt, like for the Apple. But I don't ever see any proof of it. So once I see proof of it,
I
same
mean,
with the
I think
Diddy allegation.
there's pretty
Mhm.
good proof that children as young as 6 are working in mines, that's pretty
Where's the
like.
proof? Is there picture? Is there like pictures of this? Like then I can believe it, because I keep hearing about it. I'm not denying it, and I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying like I just want to see some physical proof of this. You know,
I mean,
shout out to Apple.
like you want them to take the iPhone. I mean, I don't think they're gonna have like
No, but like,
them.
no, no. All jokes aside, like,
Yeah,
where's the pic? Like, I don't see it. Like,
I
So
understand.
when I
So
go, yeah,
that's kind of like my issue with, like, have you heard of the Unuka?
no.
So
What's that?
okay, so
Yeah,
let me tell
like
you about the
yeah,
Unuka. He's like he's
uh,
supposed to be like, like he lives in Israel and he's very skilled with the Talmud. He's like, considered, they call him the Eunuka, like, which is basically, and a lot of people are saying that he's the Antichrist. He's done like all these miracles. Like he's supposed to like have walked on water and, healed people and like, gotten people out of prison. But like, I was like, why? Like, if someone walked on water, you think with like all the cameras and stuff that we have, like, there would be video of this. But like, there's a lot of like allegations that he's the Antichrist. So like, I mean, like, how much of that is just like, like, is that a form of anti-Semitism? I wrote a blog, I think it is, that, like, just because like, someone is like, devoted their life to studying the Torah or the Talmud, or, and like, being
hey,
religious
my
devout.
bad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Go
No,
ahead.
keep going, my bad, bro.
No,
No, I
but
was gonna say shout your blog real quick to the people.
yeah, Ryan Glover Media. Yeah, yeah. I'm on Instagram, Ryan Glover 187. I actually have two blogs. They're both Ryan Glover Media, but like the one blog got kicked off Facebook. So like I started it on, like just so like I could be able to post on Facebook still. So like I just do two blogs every day, like, different like news topics and stuff. Like, every day I do, a news topic for both blogs. So
Bet, and I'm glad. So I'm with you on a lot of this material. I'm just saying, like, I find it hard to believe a lot of this stuff. But what do I know? I don't know shit because I didn't even I didn't know about this Diddy quote unquote alleged behavior or whatever. So everything what I realize is I don't know shit. And I'm not. I'm gonna
you
give
had
my
never heard
opinion
like
on shit.
you had never heard none of the Diddy stories. What
I
about like
did. I
the
did.
Diddy?
Or I did hear it. Yeah, keep going.
Oh, but
The
what
real
about like
talk.
the weird behavior on the videos, like online, like on Drink Champs, like where he's
All
saying,
right, so okay, let's talk about the drink champ shit. What do you think about the drink champ shit? Because to me, I'll start this off. To me, I'm like, yo, people talk to people like that, and I'm not, it ain't on no gay shit or whatever. It's like, yo, he called him daddy. Like, I think people sensationalize, and again, I'm giving my whole truth. I have no ties to anybody in the
this.
industry.
So
Like, bro, I can get.
this
Mhm.
is what I think, and like, I think like when you
Was
involve,
that gay for calling him daddy,
I
bro?
think like when you
Ain't no gay
call
shit. Mhm.
when you bring drugs and alcohol into the situation, people's things can be interpreted like that. Like, especially like, like necessarily an environment, like, maybe like he's become a totally different person, and like, it's easy, like, to
All right, continue. I'm sorry, my bad.
it's
Continue.
easy to infer certain things, like, because of those video clips. That doesn't help his case. Like, if and like, who knows, like, necessarily what is the true who is the true Diddy. I don't know him personally, so I couldn't like begin to speculate about his sexuality and stuff. But like, with the
And
allegations,
look, I don't know him personally like that either. I met him a couple times. That's it. Like it's not like he's my homeboy. I have no reason to defend him. But I feel like this culture that we're on my phone. All right, I feel like this culture that we're going through is like this. And I've made several videos about how much I love It Is What It Is. Mason Cam show. I love that show. But I feel like everybody like you can't say nothing these days and it's gonna sound gay. You know what I'm saying? So maybe people should not even get, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like
I
okay, what did he say on the Drink Champs interview that made you think he was he said I like it when you scraping and scrambling for
scraping and scrambling.
daddy.
Well, like yeah, when you scraping and scrambling like that daddy,
Yeah.
that's I think it was like,
All right.
it's the daddy for me, like calling another man daddy, but
I would never call a grown man daddy. I agree with you on that. But maybe that's I don't know. Like yeah,
but like
maybe I'm groomed. No, no,
but no,
yeah.
here's the thing though. Like, I mean, I think like when you add alcohol and drugs into the equation and stuff, like, As far as the sexuality, I won't,
Yeah.
speculate.
Why
I
did
mean, I
why
think like
why did that come out in the lawsuit? Why didn't this is him being gay come out in the lawsuit? Because I didn't see one thing about it, other than him watching. That's just weird. But it's not necessarily gay because everybody watches porn. So
but
you
there's
watch another grown.
there's
Mhm.
like all these stories, like like Gene Deal tells the story about like the time like he came out of the room.
With Ja Rule,
Yeah, there's the
with
allegation.
Ja Rule ain't gay, bro.
I mean, with ecstasy and stuff, everything, who's to say, like, like drugs and stuff, everything, like,
Well, that would have came out a lot. You don't think 50 would have been on that? Like 50 would have been on that, bro. If Ja Rule did anything gay, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like they're coming at Diddy very hard, and that's a pause right there.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got
I
to
mean,
pause
like,
there.
where, yeah, like, I mean, like, now is like, I guess, like the time, like, for his downfall, if you had like resentment against a certain person, like, just for like
You
whatever
want to get
reason.
into that? Do you want to
Yeah,
get into that too? We can get all right. So let's get into the resentment that people have against Diddy. And again, I'm not defending any physical abuse that he had
yeah.
against women.
But let's
Okay.
let's look at like possible motives for like people, like, what I mean. Do you see any motives like for Cassie? What
All
are the
right. Okay. We'll talk about Cassie right after this. I want to
okay?
talk about these contracts. Okay. When you're in the music business, right? What like, and people come at Diddy because he's a black man. They don't come at Clive Davis like this. They don't come at you guys don't
But
even
that's not
Elliot
true.
Wilson.
Jimmy Iovine though has some sexual assault like
Did
allegations.
you see it on TMZ?
No, no, that's very it's not like, what I'm saying, really like talked about as much on like platforms, like, because, you know, I mean, like, that's the music industry, the people have like, a lot of power, but like yeah, like,
They didn't mention. They have not mentioned Jimmy Iovine on TMZ one time. And
he's
you
so
ask your audience.
it's on People, and in Rolling Stone, he's been accused of sexual misconduct. A woman identified only as Jane Doe is accused of music executive of sexual harassment and abuse in New York Supreme Court on Wednesday. And documents obtained by People, the woman claims Iovine 70 committed crimes including assault and battery. And he, according to Rolling Stone, he's shocked and baffled by new sexual abuse allegation. So, like, I mean, is it true? Like, I've never really heard like those things, but like, Gene Deal says like some of these like, stories have been around for years that like, I'm not, I mean, like I guess music
But
industry.
why do you think I'm asking? Have you heard it on TMZ? Why do you think I'm asking that question?
Yeah, it seems like that would be a major story on TMZ.
Yeah, but so what's your response to that?
I mean, that seems a little odd that it's not on TMZ. Like, why is it like, I mean, I guess like, certain
Is
companies.
Diddy is everybody else, and why not him? I'm just asking. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just asking. Is Diddy and everybody? But ain't no Jimmy Iovine on TMZ. I'm just wondering. I'm just asking the question. I might get canceled
But
from
also
this,
like,
but
I
like,
mean, they're like outside of like people in entertainment, do people really know like, who Jimmy Iovine is? Like,
yo, he owns entertainment, bro. He owns entertainment. So the fact that TMZ now I gotta say something, bro. Not even trying to go there. It's weird that they're not mentioning it. That's all I'm trying to say. He
yeah,
owns entertainment. The fact that they're mentioning Diddy all the time and not Jimmy Iovine, who
man, I have you ever heard anything about Jimmy Iovine though? Like, being like, a sexual
oh,
abuser.
I never heard anything. And I love you, Jimmy Iovine. So I'm not trying to start no problems. I'm just wondering why the media is only portraying certain people in this limelight and they're not portraying other people. And I love Jimmy Iovine. I don't know if none of this shit is true. Jimmy Iovine, I fuck with you. It could be totally false. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being for real. But I'm like, this shit is kind of getting like it's almost too blatant. Meaning like it's too apparent. It's like they're putting a spotlight. Yo, I didn't see one thing on TMZ about Jimmy Iovine. Y'all do the math. I don't
I
give a fuck.
didn't
Y'all do the math. Shout out to Kanye West. That's all I gotta say.
like,
Shout out to Kanye
like,
West.
I don't know. Like, I feel like TMZ though is more like celebrity. It's like they don't really go
Who
after.
owns TMZ, brother?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm about to look up that. Like, let's see who owns TMZ.
Yeah.
Fox Corporation.
No, who's the main owner, the person who owns it?
The Murdochs own Fox. Yeah,
This
so
is
it's
gonna
like,
be a good. This is about to be a good clip. No, who is the person who's listen? Forget who owns it. Who founded TMZ? This is about to be a good clip for you.
oh, Harvey Levin.
Okay,
Yeah.
Google him. What's
Um,
his background? How does he identify? And
uh,
again, I'm not on no Kanye West shit, but I'm just telling y'all the truth, bro. Everybody what I was not the truth. It's not anti anything, bro. It's just the truth. So I want Indians to be like that. I have no problem with them doing this shit. But I'm like, yo, this we can't be in denial anymore, bro. Who runs this shit, bro?
that
Anyway,
yeah, man, like we got
what is he? What is he? Tell people. What is he?
I believe Harvey Levin is Jewish. It didn't say that though in Wikipedia. I was looking like yeah, but he grew up in a Jewish family in Los Angeles County, California. He attended high school at Grover Cleveland High
I
School.
didn't say. I'm not saying shit. You saying shit.
He's Jewish. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong. I don't think like
But
I
why
like
did they not post? Why did they not post Jimmy Iovine? They posted every single other person, bro. Why?
uh,
Ask yourself that question. Ask your audience. Why is everybody doing that shit, bro?
are you
That shit
saying
not cool.
are you saying though, like, you think, like, because, like, he's part of the Jewish community, like, that
I'm
they're
not saying shit.
cover I wonder that though, like, do you think that exists? Like, if you are part of, like, like, let's say you're Indian and somebody who's Indian does something bad, would you not post them? Like, not
No,
talk.
no. So that's a good question. That's a great question. I think they're a strong knit community, and I don't think like I'm not saying anything negative about them, but I
Yeah.
want the rest of us to be like them because okay, we can do that shit then. And I'm with you, like so. Maybe I wouldn't post it, no, but I honestly I just posted a video about Hassan Minaj, and he's in Indian, bro. Hassan Minaj lied about a bunch of shit on stand up, and people trying to act like oh stand everybody who stand up lies, but he made his brand off of being a political comedian, right?
Okay.
So I made a video. I didn't want to do it, but I had to call him out. I had to because if I'm being and I'm not even a journalist, bro. I just talk. So I had to call Hassan Minaj out, which is my Indian brother. I don't know him, but I was a fan of his before. I love to see Indians prosper. I didn't want to tear him down, but I had to call him out. So the fact that I had to call him out because I'm being true to what I do, and the fact that these people are not calling out Jimmy Iovine, you got to ask yourself some questions here. You guys got to do the math here. It may be geographical, maybe algebra, but do the math, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, 6 minutes left.
All right.
I wanted to talk about, like, what other issues are going on, man. Like, I think we talked about like everything. One thing I wanted to talk about, man, like OnlyFans girls, bro. Like, I feel what do you think about like OnlyFans, like, sex workers, like adult film stars? Like, I feel like, there is promoted
Uh-huh.
very,
Uh-huh.
very heavily, like, that we're almost supposed to believe that that's a real business. Do you think, like, that the work that they do is the same as, like, somebody who, does any other type of work? Like, I think, like, it's kind of like this idea, like, that they're equal, like, they're entrepreneurs, or like, but like, I don't see it that way.
Clip this. Yes, they are entrepreneurs, and yes, you should see it that way. Because who are the people who are consuming this content? I know I don't have no OnlyFans subscription. I don't ever pay for porn. I don't like y'all. The people who talk the most. I'm not talking about you, Ryan. I'm talking about everybody else who want to talk about the most shit are the ones who are subscribing to this shit because y'all funding their lifestyle. So I have no problems with them. I used to drive escorts in 2013. I used to drive escorts. That was my job. And these people are great human beings. I saw one of my homegirls who was my escort. She bought her mama a fucking house, bro. So everybody, it's so it's so hypocritical. It's so confounding when
Well,
men are like,
I
mhm.
think they're real human beings. Like I won't take that
But
away.
who's paying for the OnlyFans?
Majority men, you
All
know,
right, then
uh,
what are we talking about here?
yeah, like lonely men, but like there is like a movement and stuff. I think like to stop porn. I don't want to stop it, but like I feel like that they're almost like normalizing it in a way where like
Who's normalizing it? Who?
I would say like different media platforms. Like
I think men are the ones who are consuming. They're the main consumers. My G.
100%. Yeah. And stuff like that because it's like I'll do an interview with adult film star, it'll go like viral. I'll interview like
That's
somebody.
what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
So who the fuck? So who the fuck? Why do we gotta say they gotta stop making a living for themselves? Then if you, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people. If you hate OnlyFans so much, then stop paying for this shit. Why the fuck are y'all paying for this shit? And I think there's a real problem. I think it's not an opioid crisis right now. I think it's an incel crisis right now. People
Yeah.
who don't get no pussy, who are fucking just on the internet all day, and these are the people that might shoot up your schools. So there's an incel crisis right now. So that's
So
all I'm gonna
like
say.
I feel like what I mean, my solution to this problem, like I actually want to legalize illegal, make porn illegal under like obscenity laws. I don't think porn should be legal on the internet. And like I feel like what I mean and stuff because of that, that would increase like what I mean, people like what I mean, if they want to be sex workers, they should decriminalize sex work. You just can't film it and put it on the internet. So like lower the cost of sex workers. They got to get it mandated by the state and stuff and everything, so it increases tax revenue. I just don't think like porn needs to be on the internet for children or people and
You
stuff.
know what? I agree with you on the point on the internet because I don't think with the church because I used to tutor some places and then I tutored at a place. It's called Reading Town. You might have to leave that out. It's Reading Town in Wiltshire, but this one kid was googling porn. Like a lot of the guys were proud of him, but what I realized at that time I was like, yo, people are watching porn way too early. But let me say this: I think prostitution, I think all that shit should be legalized because you know why? Because if weed is legalized, like, yo, it's a transaction, and I never bought a prostitute. I never. Yeah, y'all can check my record. I don't believe because let me explain that to the people. The reason I never bought a prostitute is because I want the girl to like me for me, and maybe I'm soft, or maybe I'm sensitive, maybe I can only get a boner if a girl likes me. I can't get a boner if I'm paying for it. I paid for it in when I was 15 years old in Europe, and that shit traumatized me. So I went to Europe. Yeah, with my school, and I got prostitute. That shit traumatized me. So I've never paid for pussy ever in my life. And also I don't believe in that because you want. But also I do believe in. It's almost like I want steroids to be legal. I want if people are doing some shit, let it be. Just let it be. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna
But like
say.
even like competing in sports, like steroids are legal. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Steroids.
man,
Yo, baseball was way more fun when people were taking steroids.
what do you think about like women like competing against people who are born as biological men in sports?
Trash. This. Okay. All right. So, and I've never voted in my life. Do not vote for Joe Biden. I don't care who you vote for. Do not vote for Joe Biden because it's ridiculous that men who transition to females, which I respect, but if they compete in female sports, fuck that shit, bro. Are
But
you
so
kidding me, bro?
who should people vote for though? Because like the options left though are Trump, Cornell West, Marianne Williamson, Robert Kennedy.
Who do you think?
Man, I would say like I would vote for Cornell West because like I went to Harvard. I met him
I didn't
actually.
even know Cordell West was running. I
Yeah,
read his books though.
yeah. Like I
Love
don't think he
Cordell
has
West.
a chance to win though. Like realistically, I don't think like any of
So
the
who would you vote for?
I would vote for Cornell West, but like I don't think he has a chance to win. Like, I don't think Marianne Williamson has a chance to win. I don't think Robert Kennedy has a chance to win. Like, I mean, I think
Who did
like
you vote for in 2016 or 2020?
who I voted for Joe Biden. Yeah. I like, against Trump, man. Like